Hello and welcome to Riannah Roach Radio. I am Riannah and I am the host of this show. Thank you so much for joining me for the very first episode of this podcast. It's been a couple of years in the making, mainly because I've been procrastinating around the technology side of things. But I am so excited to now begin to share with you more information. The aim of this podcast is to provide real and raw discussions around topics including masculinity and men, femininity and women, and what is happening in society today, if you like, between the two. I will share information around myself, around healing, and around my own spiritual journey. And I will also be interviewing guests, special guests, to provide information about their own story and their own journey in life. Now, the first few episodes after this one, I will be sharing a project that I've been working on called Share Your Story. Now, Share Your Story is something that I'm very passionate about, and it is interviews with real men around the world who are sharing their story on what it's like to be a man in today's society. So I'm very excited to share that project with you. And the men that I've talked to are inspiring. They haven't held back on sharing information about themselves and their own journey. So I really look forward to it. Please join me for the next few episodes that I will launch very soon. Today, though, I just wanted to introduce myself a little more. So, as I said, I am Riannah and I am a mum of two young boys, Spencer and Albie. Spencer is 6 and Albie is 4. And I have been on my own self development journey since my very first awakening in 2020. So you could say that 2020 was the year that I hit rock bottom, but it had been building for a couple of years prior to that as well. But in 2020, when COVID hit, I was a completely different person, living a completely different life to what I am now. I was a government worker and had been for 14 years in local government. I was in a relationship with my children's father. I had a life, I guess, that on paper, looked good. It looked great. I had a house. I had everything that I could have wanted. But deep down, I was desperately unhappy with my life and basically within myself. So from there, I embarked on an introspective journey, and I began to attend courses and workshops and begin to look inside. So I started by doing NLP training, which is neuro linguistic programming. And that course was 7 days of basically diving into my own shit. And to say that it was uncomfortable is an understatement, but it was the start of my journey of uncovering who I am and living a life of alignment and authenticity. So while I am still very much on my own personal journey, I have been through a lot already in the last few years. I created complete change in my life. So as I began to change my inner world, my outer world felt like it didn't match with who I am anymore. So I had to change it. And, I basically blew up my life and I quit my job, something that I held on to quite tightly for many years. I ended the relationship with my children's father. I ended up having to sell our family home and was homeless for about 9 months. Not homeless in that I was on the street, but I didn't have a house and I couldn't get one. So I lived with my mum and my two boys for 9 months. And I basically had to strip back everything on the inside and the outside of my life to begin to explore who I am, who I am at a soul level, I like to say. So it took a good 12 months after I blew up my life for me to feel like that I was actually beginning to settle again. And as I start to come out the other side, I'm now working as a coach, hypnotherapist and mentor for both men and women who are going through or the similar stuff to what I have and are wanting to create change within their life. So that is a very brief snippet of who I am. But where I find myself right now is, of recent times, probably over the last 12 months, I've really began to explore my own femininity. and began to heal, both the masculine and the feminine within inside of me. And that's taken, me going back into childhood memories and doing inner child work, as well as looking at, my beliefs, my values, and everything like that around men, women, masculinity, and femininity. And as I've explored my own femininity, I guess I feel like I had another awakening, and I began to see the world from a different perspective. And what I've noticed is that, I was very much, and I don't hide the fact that I was very much a feminist type woman, an independent woman who used to say, I don't need men to help me. I didn't allow anyone really to help me with anything because I could do it myself. And that was basically a coping mechanism, now I realize, from my upbringing. But as I've explored, femininity and my ability to receive and be a woman, I've also now seen things from a man's perspective and masculinity in general in society. And so where I'm at right now is, working. I feel like I'm Switzerland. I'm working from this space where I can see, things from a woman's perspective, but I can also see things from a man's perspective in society at the moment. And so I feel like a part of my purpose at the moment is to illuminate both sides of the story, and to help both men and women firstly heal and feel comfortable within themselves again, and come to a place where you can live authentically as yourself from the truest essence of who you are, whether that be masculine or feminine, but also to find a way back to each other so that we can experience, love and connection. And my belief is, many of us have experienced relationships, obviously, in the past. But a lot of the relationships that most people have experienced in the past are relationships that are formed on falsities, on versions of ourselves that are trapped in trauma, or that, we're not living our authentic self. So the relationships we've experienced are not the best relationships that we can experience. So I'm so passionate now about helping people heal and remember that love and connection is very much a part of our journey here in this lifetime as a human being. So I probably have gone a little bit off track there, but I'm just so passionate about that and about helping people, come to a place of love, of healing, and of openness. Because when you reach a place of love within yourself, the whole world starts to show up differently for you. And I'm speaking from personal experience here. I was a woman who held on to a lot of anger, and I held on to a lot of hurt and pain and grief. And so I was operating and living my life from that space, from a place of fear and lack and avoidance. And as I do the work, as I allow myself to be vulnerable, as I allow myself to feel things at a deeper level, as I allow myself to live from a place of love and openness, the world is just so different, and I'm living a completely different life. And while I'm not at my end, goal, while I'm not there yet, I am enjoying and loving every moment of the journey, even when it is a roller coaster ride at times. So again, that's just a little bit about me. I do like to waffle on a little bit, but I look forward to sharing, specific parts of my journey with you. I look forward to talking about things that I've learned along the way. I look forward to sharing other people's perspectives on here as well, because that's important. And I think it's important now for society in general for us to be able to listen to other people's perspectives, to hear their point of view, and to have an open mind about it. Because right now in society, I feel like a lot of people, are very closed off and are not able to even listen to someone's to other people's point of view. There's very little empathy and compassion, particularly on social media and these platforms at the moment. So I hope that by sharing information, both mine and other people's, that I can begin to help you expand, your capacity, if you like, to see or to listen to other people's perspectives, to begin to explore your own world, and to maybe, create change if you want to within your life and within yourself. So I'll finish up here, a very short introduction to who I am. I look forward to sharing more information with you along the way. My name's Riannah. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.